2021 Astro Tarot Forecast. My name is Audrey Alison, and I'm shuffling the Haunted House Tarot by Sasha Graham. And please watch your sun sign, your rising, and your moon sign for a full dose of the cosmos for the month Aquarius. On June 2nd, Venus makes a transit into the water sign of Cancer through June 27th. And this is wonderful for your health. This is the sixth sector of well-being, health, and routine and regimen. So Aquarians are able to commit to a better health schedule and commitment to themselves, or ritual, I should say, and have better results. Venus is the planet of soothing and smoothing energy, and the sun on June 20th will enter Cancer for our summer solstice in the northern hemisphere and be conjunct Venus in the sixth house of health and well-being. For those Aquarians looking for work and that quick, instant paycheck, that's the sector. It's not the career sector, but it's an opportunity to earn and an opportunity to tend to your physical health in a way where you have two very positive, benevolent planets in that sector, appeasing it. So if you're feeling under the weather, you should be feeling better this month. And if you have some things to tend to physically, this is the month where you have support. You definitely have support from June 23rd when Mercury goes direct, in health as well. But I love seeing a conjunction with the Sun and Venus because it's so beautiful and supportive together that I feel like what you're choosing to do for health at this time really works for you long term. Now on June 10th, we have our new moon solar eclipse at 19 degrees of Gemini. Wow. Fresh starts and a clearing of the path in your fifth house of true love and romance, Aquarius. Also, pregnancy alert and fertility alert, new conception or a new birth. Something and someone could be eclipsed out of the picture here. New moon solar eclipse in Gemini. Wow, who's having twins as well? A lot of twins coming through on the new moon Gemini eclipse. So pregnancy, fertility, creative, entrepreneurial pursuits and projects, your independence in your work life. You could want to restart this or reset this area of your life. Thinking of new concepts to earn your income creatively or using your artistic skills to create your living. New ideas are usually filtered in through our subconscious, a little download during a new moon solar eclipse, so I would allow for that thought process that day. That isn't the day to actually physically do too much. However, listen to what comes through as your personal guide that day or your insight of the day, and then take action accordingly. Mars makes a shift into Leo on June 11th. This is your polar opposite sign, so this is the sector of marriage, soulmate. And this will trine a retrograde Mercury. And when you could be reminded of an old love, and when these two areas, the fifth house and seventh house, are working together, they have planets in both areas, that forms a sextile, which is harmonious energy filtered into the fifth and seventh house. There's connections here for Aquarius. And since Mercury is retrograde, you are reminded of old love. You could hear from an old lover and someone who I think still wants to play games, because the fifth house is the sector of games and fun. And we'll see what comes up on the tarot with that, but you don't always have to let everyone in who calls. And every old lover isn't necessarily worthy of Aquarius's time. I like Mars in the seventh house for partnership for you, but even in terms of creative partnerships and musical partnerships. Aquarius is looking to link up with the right team players as well. And Mars is here in the 7th sector for 2 months to assist you for 60 days after June 11th. Our summer solstice in the northern hemisphere occurs on June 20th, like I said, in the 6th house, conjunct Venus. Mercury is direct on the 27th at 16 degrees of Gemini in your 5th house of fun and dating and pleasure and artistic creative pursuits. So you are able to assess more clearly where you're headed going further in these endeavors. And then we end the month with a full moon on June 24th at 3 degrees of Capricorn, giving you an awareness in the very last sector, a very quiet full moon for you, Aquarius. Releasing wounds, getting a psychic dream, letting something go truly, because there's a full moon of closure in the last sector of closure, in the sector of release. So let it go. Let's see what's here in your cards for you for the month of June, Aquarius. And if you'd like a private reading, I still have some left for the second half of June and the second half of July. So please book them in advance at my book a reading tab at audreyalison.com. Aquarius, here are your cards. Ooh, I love this. The moon. That's the eclipse, baby. That would be a hot tattoo. Like all of it. The Dobermans, the moon, the dress. Clarity, the moon. Vision. Awareness. Psychic ability. And the 5 of Cups, that's that release of letting something go that really has brought you down emotionally or drained you. You don't need it anymore. She's slightly turned as if she's prepared to walk away, but something called her back. That's that Mercury retrograde and hearing from an ex or something from the past that's reminded you, but you must fully move forward and let that go. Because it blocks you. So the past doesn't go into the future. The past stays in the past. And don't allow your mind to tell you otherwise. You can handle anything. And it's the other people that tend to be needy right now for you. Wow. 8 of Cups, that is literally the card of walking away. So maybe you don't pick up that call. You were halfway in, halfway out, and then you're moving forward. Yeah, and she's turned her back in these cards, in these 2. I just think that Aquarius has had it with one method of replying to someone or the control of someone over you. You're moving on. And if you don't trust that, now is the month to trust it. With that full moon in your last sector, you're more aware of what actually feels right. And you will sense red flags. That feeling that when you second guess it and you go, oh, it doesn't feel right. Trust that. Okay, Aquarius, I hope this was helpful. I'm wishing you a great June. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.